This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, GST holiday. Prime Minister Trudeau announces a 2-month tax break on some items over the holidays.
The race for Eastern Passage. A high-profile PC incumbent faces Liberal and Independent challengers.
And a development dispute. Halifax residents challenge the approval of a controversial 120-unit project in Fall River.
Periods of rain and gusty winds on tap as our next system rolls in Friday and into the weekend. Your full weather forecast is coming up.
Good evening. We begin with an early holiday gift from the federal government. The Prime Minister announced a tax break earlier today.
Justin Trudeau says he'll remove the GST for 2 months from a wide array of products. But the affordability package doesn't end there. Olivia Stefanovich has more.
Our government can't set prices at checkout, but we can put more money in people's pockets.
The Prime Minister announcing financial relief during a challenging economic and political time.
For 2 months, Canadians are going to get a real break on everything they do.
Starting December 14th, the federal government wants to lift the federal sales tax on almost everything at the grocery store, plus beer and wine.
I think no taxes on groceries is great, especially when I have a little guy.
Well, I'm 19 years old, just moved out of home. It helps me a lot to save money, trying to live on my own. It's great for us.
That'll be a nice surprise, and also it'd be nice if it was extended.
The tax break will also apply to family goods, including children's clothing, diapers, and toys. When the GST vacation is over, Ottawa intends to send $250 checks to every Canadian whose annual income is less than $150,000. New Democrats say they will help pass the government's bill.
We know that middle-class families need a break, so we're going to work as hard as possible to get this done as quickly as possible.
With Jagmeet and Justin, it is double trouble for Canadians.
The NDP support fresh fuel for Conservative attacks.
What we have is a 2-month temporary tax trick that will not make up for the permanent quadrupling carbon tax on heat, housing, food, and fuel.
The proposed measures will cost approximately $6 billion.
It's a bit weird as a way to do things.
Money that the Bloc Québécois was looking for to permanently boost seniors' pensions.
The Liberals have shown that when they need billions of dollars in order to literally buy votes, they find it.
Before Canadians can see any relief at the checkout, a non-stop debate in the House of Commons needs to be set aside. It's jammed up Parliament for 2 months, and there's no end in sight. The NDP will only agree to a pause to get these measures through. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
On the campaign trail today, Liberal leader Churchill says if his party wins the provincial election, his first 100 days in office would focus on tax measures. The Liberals are promising to reduce the HST by 2 points. Churchill was also asked about what today's move by the federal government will do to put a temporary break on the GST for certain items.
Nova Scotians don't just need a tax holiday. We need a long-term, lower, fairer, more competitive tax system in Nova Scotia. We're the highest tax province in the country. We also now have some of the highest costs of living. So it's not just about putting in a short-term Band-Aid to help people get through this moment. It's about making sure we are an affordable province to live in with fair, lower taxes for the long run.
Churchill says his first 100 days in office would also include meetings with the other Atlantic premiers to discuss getting rid of the carbon tax in favor of a regional cap-and-trade system. NDP leader Claudia Chender and PC leader Tim Houston did not make announcements today. All three of the main party leaders spent the day preparing for a CTV roundtable.
Progressive, Conservative and Liberal signs line the streets of Eastern Passage, but a third candidate is knocking on doors with newfound independence. The CBC's Luke Ettinger was in the riding this week.
Independent Tammy Jakeman is back on the campaign trail. Earlier this month, she parted ways with the NDP over posts to social media about the war in Gaza. Jakeman said Israel needs to be held accountable for civilian casualties, but she regrets using a post from the Auschwitz Memorial to make her point. She said the NDP machine led her to believe her comments would overshadow any future campaigning.
It's actually not that horrible. And people in Eastern Passage, South Woodside, Shearwater and Cow Bay, they have so many other things that are wrong. I spoke to a gentleman yesterday who's 7 years without a family doctor.
Jakeman declined to participate in an all-candidate conversation hosted by the Eastern Passage and Area Business Association. But incumbent PC Barbara Adams did. The physiotherapist highlighted a new nursing home and additions of family doctors.
As somebody with 40 years of healthcare experience, I have some of the most experience of anyone running for government. I delivered the healthcare that Nova Scotians wanted in Eastern Passage, and there are other things that we want to bring here, and I want to help make sure that that happens.
The cabinet minister sparred with Liberal candidate Chris Peters.
Can I speak? Thank you.
Peters is a realtor who moved to the community about 2 decades ago. He said Adams is putting her portfolios first.
And I think that is one of the things that I want to bring back is feet on the ground, working in the trenches, having a good time, both celebrating our successes and then trying to figure out what opportunities we can improve upon. And a lot of it ties back to affordability, but then you have healthcare is a major issue that people are looking to have and still don't have that in their community.
Adams has represented the area since 2017, but Peters says he's very confident. As for Jakeman, she admits winning as an independent would be an upset.
My husband and I taught our kids, finish what you start, even when it's hard.
A lesson the educational assistant also shares with her students. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Eastern Passage.
Ryan with us now, and if you were lucky, you got a peek at the sun today.
Yeah, because it is not going to last.
No, turning wet and windy, and I know for some folks it's already felt wet. It's been damp across the board. It has not been wet for everybody, but yeah, we are going to definitely turn wet here over the next day or two as this next system rolls its way in. And again, we're looking at this period, the periods of rain rolling in from southwest to northeast as we move throughout the day on Friday. And then this wetter weather really settles in for Friday night and into Saturday morning. That's when the kind of the meat and potatoes of this storm are going to be working through, and it's going to be picking up in terms of those winds as well. Widespread gusts in the 50 to 70 range for the mainland. Could see some gusts pushing towards 90 for Cape Breton. This will all kind of pinwheel around. We'll see a bit of a break on Saturday evening and then more showers wrapping in on the back side of the system for Sunday and maybe even a few flakes flying. The heaviest amounts will be for eastern areas. We'll break this all down in detail with your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Tom and Amy.
All right, Ryan. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, a group of Halifax residents are asking the courts to look at a provincial decision to greenlight a controversial development. The province designated the Fall River site as a special planning area earlier this year, but residents say it brings infrastructure and safety concerns. Haley Ryan reports.
A group of residents say this Fall River site is not a good spot for major development and are asking Nova Scotia's Supreme Court to weigh in on the issue.
Unfortunately, yes, we had to step up. And yes, it is an expensive endeavor.
David Nunn is one of 28 residents who recently filed a Nova Scotia Supreme Court judicial review of the province's decision to approve the development. It would see 3 multi-unit buildings on the 12-hectare site, creating 120 units. But it's on a dead end, and there are only 2 roads into the development. Nunn says last year's wildfire in Upper Tantallon shows that's not enough.
How do you get vehicles out and how do you get emergency vehicles back in if you're limited to one access point and the other one's closed off? Like, it can be a real mess.
The project was rejected by Halifax Council 2 years ago. But the province declared it a special planning area this year in a push to increase housing.
It's the first time that there's a judicial review with respect to the special planning, and so I think that's really interesting. And I think that that's something that all of HRM should be looking at, what the results of this will be.
Nunn says the density is too much for a site with no municipal sewage service and includes a section of CN Railway.
You put a septic field in here that vibrates. How quickly does that break down?
The matter will first come before a judge in February. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Fall River.
91 tenants of a mobile home park in Beaver Bank filed for hearings with the Residential Tenancies Program Wednesday, saying they've been unlawfully paying for water meters and water bills, and they want their money returned. Those residents of Woodbine Park say this has been an ongoing battle for years, with mobile home owners who rent their lots saying the Tenancy Act lays out that services like water are included in their rent. In August, a small claims court decision encouraged more tenants to try to get their money back. Eloise Graves is one of 2 tenants who went to small claims court and won and was awarded thousands of dollars.
It needs to be equal. The Act says it has to be equal to all, and so we just want that. We don't want anything extra. And Nicole and I were really committed when we started this, that this was never going to be just about us. We wanted it to be about everyone in the park and the other parks in the province too, because that's important. Fairness is important to us.
The landlord, Westfall Court Limited, owns 6 mobile home parks amounting to about 1,600 homes. Their lawyer says they have no comment on the matter.
The Transportation Safety Board blames severe weather conditions for a fatal incident involving the crew of a disabled fishing vessel near Canso nearly 2.5 years ago. In March of 2022, the Mucktown Girl had 5 people on board off Canso when the vessel experienced an electrical problem. A Coast Guard vessel was dispatched to tow the fishing vessel with its crew remaining on board. But a storm moved in and the Mucktown Girl started taking on water, leading to a rescue attempt. 2 Coast Guard members were injured and one of the fishing crew members was swept away and died. The TSB's investigation points to a need for comprehensive contingency planning for the towing of disabled vessels.
After nearly 3 months out of service, the MV Confederation could begin operating between Nova Scotia and PEI as early as December 2nd, as long as final steps go according to plan. Northumberland Ferry's general manager Jeff Joyce says repairs on the vessel's bow visor are running ahead of schedule, though tests and inspections need to be completed. Joyce also says the collision this past summer with the wharf in Wood Islands was caused by human error and not a mechanical error as first reported. Once the Confederation is back in service, it will do 4 round trips daily, an increase from the usual 3 it takes during the month of December. Joyce says he received permission from Transport Canada to add a trip as a small way to make up to the community for the disappointing ferry season. Meanwhile, the new ferry, the MV Fanafjord, is set to arrive at the end of January.
A Cape Breton man has surpassed his goal and collected a record number of donations for his milk drive.
Mickey McNeil says after speaking with CBC earlier this month about dropping off donations, they came pouring in. McNeil has been collecting milk for the Glace Bay Food Bank for more than a decade to help provide families with at least that basic necessity. He says it all started when he heard of a child putting water on cereal. He's overwhelmed by the support.
It has taken a massive turnaround, and I don't know why I'm surprised, but every year it's really slow and draggy, and then near the end people start coming with milk and money and donations, and we are definitely going to be well over 10,000 cans of milk, which is higher than what we had last year.
It's important to the adults, the children, so it's a real staple. And sometimes we're lucky enough to give out fresh milk if it comes in, but the canned milk, absolutely. We put out 2 or 3 tins in each order, and we go through it very fastly.
Linda McRae says the food bank feeds 110 people a day and gives out more than 400 food hampers a month. And she says those numbers rise this time of year.
And there's a live look at the Dartmouth side of Halifax Harbour. Ryan is up next with his full weather forecast. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back. CBC News recently stopped by two rural Nova Scotia communities, Musquodoboit Harbour and Barrington Passage.
We asked residents of those communities what's important to them this provincial election. This is what they had to say.
What matters to me most is my community.
The main issue for me this time around is who do I trust?
What's on my mind this provincial election? I think for me, the major topic is Tim Houston's announcement for the Centre of Excellence when it comes to menopausal care for women.
Because I work in the community's culture, tourism, and heritage industry or sector, support for tourism-related operations, including museums and communities, is very important to me.
So the Liberal Party, when they were in power, tried to get the Owl's Head turned into a golf course. They canceled the school boards. My main issue with the Liberal Party in the last round was they set up a school site selection process and then proceeded to break it.
While I am a Nova Scotian and a proud Nova Scotian, I think about my rural communities and how oftentimes they're left out of the conversations of what's happening around the province that isn't centrally located.
I have long been an advocate for menopausal health. I had a particularly challenging journey myself, and that led me to explore further what resources are out there for women, and very quickly you'll find out there's little to none. So for Tim Houston to come out and make this a topic is validating the journeys and the challenges that many women have had.
It makes it difficult for us to operate sustainably and extensively and be what we need to be for our communities if we don't have just core funding for wages and programming and that type of thing.
So then we get to the Liberal or the Conservative Party, and the first piece of legislation was fixed election dates, and then they proceed to go with a snap election, which is going to cost the taxpayers $31 million, which could be much better spent on housing. The Coastal Protection Act, I worked on starting back in the 1980s, and everybody voted for it, including the progressive Conservatives. And as soon as they get into power, they axed the Coastal Protection Act.
We know that if we're investing in tourism and we know that the revenue that generates, we're seeing that in being able to offer more in healthcare funding, education funding, and supports for other programs across the province.
You know, our community is quite rich in industry and our natural resources, and we do play an important role on a provincial level from our fishing industry, and yet seem to always be left out when things are being rolled out. Not a lot of resources come here, and so if I could say what I feel like we need is more community-based resources.
I also don't like Tim Houston's idea of increasing the population of Nova Scotia to 2 million people without a plan in place. I also object to the fact that we're selling off land in Guysborough County for hundreds and hundreds of wind turbines, which are going to be producing hydrogen and ammonia to be shipped to Europe. Why aren't we greening our grid now? So I just don't know who to trust.
All right, time for the full weather forecast now. Ryan with us. And
we need the rain.
We need the rain. Fleeting bit of sun today, but there's hope.
There is.
There's always hope, Tom.
There's always hope, Tom. Yeah, and it's definitely looking a little brighter next week. We'll see some breaks between the systems that will come, and systems will go a more west-east zonal flow as the blocking high starts to break down, which is going to be fantastic for everybody. We'll get rid of this just relentless cloud. Have a look at the rainfall totals since Remembrance Day. And you can see that northeast, that's where we've been seeing, we've seen anywhere from 30 to 60, 70 millimeters, even locally higher amounts, especially across Cape Breton. The southwest has really had not much at all, and a good chunk of that fell on Remembrance Day itself, and not a lot since then. So that is where we really need the rain. Just have not had enough to help the ongoing drought conditions there. Now, as we back things out, there's the low, which you can see just in the corner of your screen is bringing some rain into Cape Cod and Boston, and that is going to be working its way in for us. A two-headed snake at this point, a double-barreled low, but we are going to be looking at that kind of merging into one system as it does work its way through and into our region. So tonight, temperatures dropping into the 6-7 range with winds from the east, 20 gusting to 40. A northeast wind for Cape Breton with, again, those winds going to be persistent through the overnight tonight. Some scattered showers and drizzle on tap as we move into Friday. And then we're watching, again, that next kind of system, the next band, first band of rain, which is going to be working its way in to the southwest through Friday morning. That will then work its way northeast throughout the day. We'll see some showers, light rain ahead of this, but this is going to be the main band that we're going to be tracking throughout the day, and it does look set to move into the Halifax area by the time we get into around the supper time hour. Note, as we move into the afternoon, we'll see those winds picking up, gusting 40 to 50 kilometers per hour for Cape Breton for tomorrow from the east. Temperatures should crack double digits with that downsloping wind for places like Cheticamp and Inverness. As we look back into central, temperatures 8-9 degrees here with the winds from the east, 20 gusting 30 to 40. And for the western areas, again, temperatures near 8 or 9 degrees with winds gusting to 40 and that rain band moving through. Saturday, especially in the morning, it is going to be wet. Periods of rain and those gusty winds as well, which will shift from east to southwest through the day. We'll time that out in a sec. First, the rain. There's that first band. This is where we're looking at, again, the heaviest rainfall, the gustiest winds Saturday morning, and that will then start to lift north Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Maybe even a couple of sunny breaks before sunset on Saturday, breaking through with this dry slot, but don't bet the farm on that. As we move into Sunday, we are looking at the wraparound northwest winds, showers, and maybe even a few flakes for higher terrain areas on Sunday, and a greater chance of that even for Sunday evening and into the overnight. Have a look at our rainfall outlook. Looks like the base is going to be 20 to 30 millimeters for most of the mainland. The base looks set to be 30 to 40 millimeters for Cape Breton. And then there's the potential for the higher amounts on top. And I do think we'll see some heavier local totals, especially for the east, central, and eastern areas of the province. And that's where we could add up into the 50, 60, 70 range. We'll keep our fingers crossed that fills in a little bit for the southwest as well. And now, as we look at the wind gust forecast, this is picking up Friday evening. There are those gusts 40 to 50 tomorrow. Friday night into Saturday morning, looking at the widespread gusts 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. Atlantic coastline could see gusts stronger than that, and Cape Breton is looking likely to see gusts in the 60, 70, 80, maybe even 90 kilometer per hour range. Inverness, Lay-Souette winds likely to be howling. Saturday evening, the lighter winds, southwesterly. And then for Sunday morning, note the winds shifting in from the northwest here. Tri-County will really gust on Sunday. And eventually the rest of the province will fill in with these northwest winds, which will be gusting on Sunday as well. So it's going to be an active weekend, no question. I mentioned those flurries mixing in Sunday. Possibility of that again on Monday. Shower chances Tuesday and Wednesday, but we will be looking at, again, some breaks between these systems coming through. So some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, welcome breaks.
Good to hear for sure. Okay, Ryan, thanks so much.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming up, my conversation with Liberal leader Zach Churchill, the next in our series of leader profiles.
As the 2024 election race nears its end, CBC asked the leaders of Nova Scotia's three main parties to share a side of themselves outside of the political arena.
In the second profile of our three-part series, I catch up with Liberal leader Zach Churchill.
That wave over there.
But you're not allowed to climb it.
You know that. Geez, you know the rules better than Daddy did.
But Mommy told me to sign.
Yeah, Mommy's a lot smarter than Daddy, so listen to her.
Okay, so a little bit of a break from the campaign trail today.
It was lovely, thank you.
Yeah. How does that feel to get to reconnect with your family?
Oh, I mean, I love it, and we make the girls part of the experience too. I live in Yarmouth, of course. Katie and the kids are home, so it's important to also get them on the road with me. And my wife is amazing. She'll drive from Yarmouth to Sydney to make sure that we're together when I'm not able to get home in Yarmouth. So,
well, how do you do that whole work-life balance?
We just try to really zone in with the kids and the family when we're home and make the time matter with them. And they definitely re-energize me. Yeah.
Well, your kids don't know anything else, though, right?
No, nor does my wife. I mean, we first met when I was first elected, and my kids are learning more and more about the job. They know I have to be away a lot, but they also love traveling on the bus right now. So the campaign buses made it a little more fun for them. And my youngest is pretty perceptive. She pointed out one day, she's like, "Daddy, all you do for work is give speeches and talk. And I was like, "I'm really impressed with how observant you are, honey." Yeah.
Well, talk to me about your childhood in Yarmouth. What was that like compared to, how your kids are?
Well, I'd say the similarity is just totally surrounded by love, which I know now you can't take for granted, but I grew up in primarily a single mom household, and I'm her only son, so, the love was very strong.
You're the golden boy?
The concern was always there. Of course, that used to drive me crazy when I was a kid, and my mom always told me, "You'll only understand when you have your own."
Right.
And then I had to tell her, not for the last time, that she was right.
Yeah. Now, you've Lebanese Canadian heritage.
Yes.
How does that influence you at all?
It's a big part of our family culture on my mother's side. So, I mean, the food's really good. I can't go to family dinner without feeling totally stuffed and having more helpings than I need. But also just being there for each other and spending time together is really big on that side of the family.
I know you spend a lot of time driving from Halifax to Yarmouth, Yarmouth to Halifax. Yeah. What do you do to fill your time?
I make a lot of phone calls, catching up with constituents. I like to also call my wife a lot when she's able to talk on the road. Listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks, and then when I land, I do a lot of stretching.
Okay.
For my hips and back.
Right, from all the driving, right?
Well, it's back and forth from Yarmouth to Halifax at least once weekly. And then also leading the party, I got to be up in Cape Breton and all the way to Amherst. So there definitely is a lot of time spent in the vehicle.
Yeah, what about music? What are you listening to?
Okay, I'm a recent Taylor Swift convert.
Okay. That makes you popular with your girls, I bet.
Oh, it's because of them, yeah.
I
don't think I ever gave her a chance. And my wife, Katie, played the new double album there. And I was like, okay, she's a really good writer.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling this. So right now, I mean, I've been probably listening to her certainly a lot more than I used to. I listen to a lot of music that I grew up listening to in the 90s too.
Yeah.
Grunge and hip hop, alternative music. But I also like musicals. I love Disney.
Yeah, you do
with everything. Yeah.
Is there any song that kind of a theme for your campaign as you're traveling around?
Oh, what a great question.
Taylor Swift has a lot of them.
Listen, the different songs that are inspiring me right now that she has, but yeah, definitely I can relate to a number of those.
Right.
Including Thank You, Amy. That's one of my new favorite songs.
Okay, well, good. I guess we'll end that there.
Okay.
Thanks very much for your time.
So much.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, great seeing you.
Coming up, former Congressman Matt Gaetz withdraws his name from consideration as the next U.S. Attorney General.
The International Criminal Court issues arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister.
Welcome back. Donald Trump's most controversial cabinet pick has withdrawn his name from nomination.
Matt Gaetz was the U.S. president's choice to lead the Justice Department. Steve Futterman looks at why he's backing out.
From the start, Matt Gaetz' nomination was under fire. Gaetz had little experience as an attorney. He was viewed as a Trump loyalist. Many feared he would act as a Trump attack dog, going after Trump's political enemies, as he's done in the past.
I'm a marked man in Congress. I'm a canceled man in some corners of the internet. I might be a wanted man by the deep state.
And there were other problems. At the time of his nomination, Gaetz was under an ethics probe in the House over allegations that he was involved in sex trafficking and had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. Gaetz has denied the allegations. In his withdrawal announcement, Gaetz said, "It is clear that my nomination was unfairly becoming a distraction." Trump's attorney general, he said, must be in place and ready on day one. Trump's initial response came on social media. He said he greatly appreciated Gaetz seeking approval to become attorney general. He said, "Gaetz has a wonderful future, and I look forward to watching all the great things he will do." On Capitol Hill, lawmakers reacted.
I think that was the case that was made, to be honest. I mean, simple math, I think it was made clear that there's not a path, and if there's not a path, you're going to spend a lot of political capital for a losing cause.
Trump had previously threatened to use a process called a recess appointment to force Gaetz into the attorney general position. But continuing this fight might have also led to the release of embarrassing new details about Gaetz' sexual relationships with young women. The lingering question now is whether this will embolden Trump's enemies on Capitol Hill to go after some of Trump's other cabinet nominations, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be Department of Health and Human Services Secretary and Pete Hegseth to become Defense Department Secretary. In recent days, there have been allegations that Hegseth was involved in sexual misconduct in 2017. Hegseth has denied those allegations. Steve Futterman for CBC News, Los Angeles.
The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the military campaign in Gaza. Former defense minister was also indicted. The CBC's Tom Perry reports.
The International Criminal Court accuses Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, and his former defense minister, Yoav Gallant, of war crimes and crimes against humanity. It's issued arrest warrants accusing them of using starvation as a method of war, murder and persecution in their pursuit of Hamas in their war against Gaza. What this means is that these men could face arrest if they travel to countries outside Israel that recognize the International Criminal Court. The European Union does recognize the court, and its foreign policy chief was asked about this today.
It is not a political decision. It is a decision of a court of justice, of the International Court of Justice. And the decision of the court has to be respected and implemented.
Canada is also part of the International Criminal Court, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was asked today what this means for Canada.
It's really important that everyone abide by international law. This is something we've been calling on from the beginning of the conflict. We are one of the founding members of the International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice. We stand up for international law, and we will abide by all the regulations and rulings of the international courts.
The court has also issued an arrest warrant for Mohammed Ziab Ibrahim al-Masri, also known as Mohammed Daif. He's head of Hamas's military wing, but Israel says it killed him over the summer in an airstrike. Hamas has never confirmed that. The ICC says it has no way of knowing whether he's alive or dead, and so it's decided to go ahead with this warrant. Tom Perry, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Ukraine today accused Russia of a new escalation in the war revolving around weaponry. But the accusation is being received with uncertainty. The CBC's Crystal Gamansing reports.
Ukraine says Russia used several missiles to strike Dnipro, including a long-range ballistic missile known as an intercontinental ballistic missile. The claim was first made by Ukraine's Air Force. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky later shared a video where he provided a few more details about the Ukrainian claim.
Сьогодні була нова російська ракета. Всі характеристики – швидкість, висота міжконтинентальної балістичної. Зараз тривають експертизи. Очевидно, що Путін використовує Україну як полігон. Очевидно, що Путін боїться, коли поруч з ним просто є нормальне життя, коли люди просто мають гідність.
It has not been confirmed that it, in fact, was an ICBM. There was an interesting moment when Russia's foreign ministry spokesperson was holding a live briefing today and paused to take a phone call where a man on the other end could be heard telling her not to comment. Matthew Saville, the director of military sciences at the London-based think tank RUSI, says if it was the case, it would be the first time an ICBM was fired in wartime. Information coming out of the U.S. suggests it was not an ICBM, but rather a shorter-range ballistic missile. The strike on the southeastern Ukrainian city followed by strikes by Ukraine inside Russian territory. It's believed the UK's Storm Shadow missile was used in that attack in the Kursk region Thursday. UK's Defence Secretary John Healey was asked about that during a Defence Committee meeting. Now, he would not comment, saying that that would affect operational security. It's believed Ukraine this week also used a donated U.S. long-range missile to strike targets inside Russia. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
Police in Brazil have formally accused former President Jair Bolsonaro of involvement in an attempted coup. Bolsonaro lost his re-election bid in 2022. 3 months later, riots questioning the result erupted in the capital. Today, police presented the Supreme Court with their investigation's final report. It concludes there was an attempt to dismantle the constitutional state, naming Bolsonaro and 36 others. The court will present recommendations to prosecutors based on the report next week.
The COP29 climate conference was set to wrap tomorrow in Azerbaijan, but so far there's no agreement on a payout to developing nations to help them cut emissions and adapt to warmer temperatures. CBC's Susan Ormiston reports from Baku.
The 13th day of the UN conference started with a jolt.
It is clearly unacceptable as it stands now. The text we now have
After nearly 2 weeks of negotiations, the draft text of an agreement on climate finance was roundly condemned.
The time for political games is over.
We are deeply disappointed.
This is not even a joke. It is an offense to demands of the global South.
COP29 is deadlocked on a finance package paid for by wealthy countries, delivered to developing countries most impacted by climate damages. Antonio Guterres swooped in today to tell them to get it done.
Soften hard lines, navigate the path through your differences, and keep your eyes on the bigger picture.
As protesters kept up their pressure in nearby corridors.
It's a repayment of climate debt.
The amount of money is one block. Another is the role of fossil fuels. The Arab group, opposing any mention of transitioning away from fossil fuels, agreed to at last year's COP in Dubai.
They're in the rooms. They don't want that paragraph singled out. They don't want that language reiterated. They are obviously trying to undercut the legitimacy of it.
It all adds up to a fraught night of arm twisting. Success is not assured.
I'm very concerned. I've been concerned for some time.
From Ottawa, the Minister of Environment said the Azerbaijan leadership needs to step up. He says Canada is committed to pay up with the right package.
I think the mistake some people might make looking at that is, oh my God, it's just money leaving Canada. I mean, unless we globally solve climate change, Canadians will continue to suffer from the impacts of climate change.
Almost no one expects Friday's deadline to hold. Countries will have to come back with a new plan, fewer red lines, more compromises, or risk these talks collapse. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Baku, Azerbaijan.
The growing use of electric vehicles is providing a better chance to assess the safety of their design, and there are concerns emerging. The CBC's Lisa Shing reports.
The haunting sight, I'll never forget it, her eyes.
Rick Harper still remembers using a metal pole to break the glass of this burning Tesla, freeing a woman, the lone survivor of a high-speed crash that killed 4 people in downtown Toronto in late October.
To find out there were 4, beyond words. I'll never be the same, you know?
Harper says none of the car doors opened from the outside, though we don't know what exactly happened.
Little latch right here.
It may not be easy finding the mechanical door release if power is cut off in an EV.
You're actually going to find it underneath this liner.
Advocates want more oversight, including when it comes to battery fires.
We need to take advantage of that greater awareness or alertness right now to step up our investigations.
The federal government has set an ambitious target. It wants all new vehicles sold to be zero emission by 2035. That means more lithium-ion batteries and more of the fires associated with them. In Toronto last year, the number of battery fires shot up 90% because of e-bikes.
They're hotter than what we would typically have as a normal combustible fire. They burn hotter and they spread quicker.
While that is changing how first responders deal with a fire call, researchers say the quality of batteries in bikes aren't necessarily the same as in passenger vehicles.
They give a kind of a bad rap to EVs, but the science is out. Really, they are much safer than conventional combustion vehicles.
Safer, though some are still calling for better quality control.
Almost all of the obligation lands on automotive companies in North America and Europe and anywhere else to check the quality of those battery packs.
Transport Canada tells us its standards ensure high voltage systems do not pose a risk post-crash, and it's involved in developing global standards for electric vehicles. But critics say that should have happened well before the cars hit the roads. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.
A months-long mystery in Newfoundland may be closer to being solved. Blobs of an unidentified substance have been washing up on the shores of Placentia Bay.
Now a team of scientists say they know what those blobs are made of. But as the CBC's Jessica Singer learned, the finding doesn't answer all the questions.
These white blobs appearing on Newfoundland's coast, what they are, where they came from, have been a mystery for months.
This was a real, crime scene investigation type of approach where we've got this material, we're really going back to basics.
Scientist Chris Kozak and his team say they have an answer. The substance is man-made. They say the blobs contain polyvinyl acetate, or PVA, a chemical that's often used in glue. They also contain a kind of synthetic latex rubber. These strange white blobs have been washing up on Newfoundland's shores for months, and there's still many questions about them that remain unanswered. The blobs were discovered in Placentia Bay on Newfoundland's east coast, just north of shipping lanes that connect North America with Europe.
Where is it from? Did it come from a plane? Did it come from a ship?
Stan Tobin has lived in the area his whole life. He'd never seen these white, sticky blobs before. Now, he says he's come across hundreds.
It looked like styrofoam. So I walked down, took a look at it, and it was gooey and not what I thought it would be at all.
There's been a lot of theories about the blobs. Some said it could be congealed fat or bits of human waste. Others have claimed it could be whale blubber. Kozak says these theories have been disproven. Scientists with Environment and Climate Change Canada are also trying to figure out what these blobs are made of and whether environmental legislation has been violated. Kozak says the blobs are potentially part of a bigger environmental issue.
It just suggests that there was a lot of this stuff put into the environment that doesn't belong there. It should be cleaned up. It's seen as plastic pollution, it's plastic waste.
He hopes someone is able to provide more solid answers to the origins of the mysterious white blobs. Jessica Singer, CBC News, St. John's.
Canada's main stock index gained more than 350 points today in a broad rally led by energy and technology stocks, while U.S. markets also rose. Here's a look at where things closed as we head to break. All right, well, because it's been so gray of late, Ryan's been digging into the archives to try and cheer us up a little bit.
This is the reminder that things won't always be this way, right?
That's right. And folks at home digging into their own archives. So I'm getting pictures into the inbox that have been taken in recent days. That's how we'll phrase it. Typically pretty recent. Not sure exactly when this picture was taken, but have a look as we zoom in on the Yarmouth area. And a beautiful shot here.
Yeah, that wasn't today.
That was not today. Clifford Hood.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, sure is.
First-time contributor to the show, and thanks so much, Clifford, for sharing. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Keep them coming, especially if they look like this one.
Spectacular.
Terrific shot. And yeah, we'll get back to these days like that sooner or later. Have a look at temperatures for tomorrow. We're going to be around 9 degrees in Yarmouth. Most of the mainland will be right around 9 degrees. 7 to 9 across Cape Breton. Those easterly winds picking up tomorrow. Yeah, this map here showing that wind from the southwest. That's Saturday afternoon. But the strongest winds on Saturday will be from the east as well on the leading edge of this system, which again will throw some bands of rain in through the day on Friday. But it's Friday night into Saturday when we're really going to be ramping up with that heaviest rain pushing in. It does look like the heaviest amounts will be over the eastern parts of the mainland and into Cape Breton. But as you'll see in a moment, we should all see at least 20 to 40 millimeters. Looks to be about the baseline for us, and then everything after that is going to be gravy. Really hoping that we'll see some of those higher totals into the southwest where we have really not had a lot. Same thing for the Halifax area. We just desperately need it. And then those amounts ramping up, I think, towards the north and east, but we'll hone in on that a little bit more in detail tomorrow. And there's that 7-day, which shows a little more sun next week.
Wells need the rain in the meantime, for sure. A gold watch gifted to the captain whose ship rescued more than 700 people from the Titanic has sold for over $2.7 million Canadian.
The 18-carat Tiffany pocket watch was given to Captain Arthur Rostron by the widows of 3 wealthy businessmen who died when the Titanic sank in 1912.
Rostron changed the course of his steamship, the Carpathia, during a journey from New York to the Mediterranean after hearing distress calls from the doomed liner. The winning bid for the watch is a record breaker for the Titanic-related auction items.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.